Hey guys, what's up? We're back here with another video today, and today we are doing our Alabama and Michigan preview and prediction video for the Rose Bowl. It's going to be the 5 p.m. kickoff game for the college football playoff. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Help me reach my goal of 1,400 subscribers before Christmas. Help me hit that Christmas goal. Like this video down below if you enjoy it. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below, as I'm sure plenty of you Michigan fans are going to have plenty of comments from me down below. So let me know what your thoughts are. I respond to every single comment. Also, make sure that you check out the live stream that me and American Football Network and maybe even Sorgy Stories will be doing for this game. We will have a live stream with live commentary and updates about the game, so you are more than welcome to join us at any point during the live stream. And then also make sure you check out College Football Roundup. It is the podcast channel of me and American Football Network, and it will have some exclusive content coming up throughout the off season as well, even though it hosts our podcast weekly. As you can go back and watch any of those episodes if you'd like. But let's get started with today's video. So, Alabama, Michigan, you have a matchup here, two heavyweights, two massive programs, Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban. Jim Harbaugh looking for his first playoff win, still winless after 2 attempts, but this time he's got the number 1 overall seed, his highest seed as he's worked his way up, number 3, number 2, now number 1. And it's going to be a tough matchup. It may be his toughest draw yet. This is a Nick Saban-led team. Nick Saban is 9-4 in the playoff era. He is not easy to beat. He has only been beaten, I believe, 1 time in the semifinals. Did he get beat? You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they haven't lost a semifinal game yet. So that is a big key to keep in mind. But when you're looking at this game, you have 2 quarterbacks, Jalen Milroe, J.J. McCarthy, kind of 2 different trajectories in some way. Jalen Milroe definitely the more athletic, has more arm talent, I would say, but J.J. McCarthy definitely more accurate, has a lot of arm talent as well, and has been a lot more consistent throughout the season. Jalen Milroe started off with a tough year, did get benched after the Texas game, but after some attempts with Ty Simpson and Tyler Buckner fell apart, Jalen Milroe got put back in as a starter and hasn't looked back since. He's played extremely well throughout the season, has taken a lot of sacks, 38 sacks throughout the year, with Ty Simpson taking 5, so 43 total sacks, a lot of sacks. But overall, you are looking at a team in Bama that has a lot of pieces that are starting to move in the right direction and could be an eventual problem for this Michigan Wolverine team. But on the other hand, Michigan, you just got a massive win. Well, not just, but you got a win over your rival in Ohio State for the 3rd consecutive year. You won. You not only beat your rival in Ohio State, but you also won the Big Ten championship, beating Iowa back-to-back years. J.J. McCarthy is the starting quarterback, but it is also a highly productive team from the running back room that includes Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Both running backs have been very successful this season, with a major part of the load still staying with Blake Corum. Corum not having as successful a season as he did last year, but he does have 24 touchdowns. When it comes to the red zone, this is a team that really likes to punch it in with their running backs, and you'll definitely see that when you're looking at this team, is very much the dynamic running back ability, especially Blake Corum. I will say that Donovan Edwards, in my opinion, has been a little bit disappointing in compared to expectations. I think that Donovan has been a little bit underwhelming. Last year, he had almost 1,000 yards and 7.1 yards a carry. This year, he has just 3.5 yards a carry. I think that the quarterback play from J.J. McCarthy has improved a lot, and I think that that could be very important when it comes to this game, is the quarterback play. But when you're looking at this game, you're looking at a Michigan team that offensive line-wise, only gave up 18 sacks this season. has played well all season long. And when you're looking at this team, the offensive line, you do lose Zach Zenner, and that is a big loss. Obviously, the All-American guard. Just that's going to be a tough loss. Basically, that's the only way to really put this. Is it's going to be a tough loss when it comes down to it. But at the offensive end, I expect a lot of Romeo Wilson and Colston Loveland. I expect a lot of them to be able to contribute to the passing game when it comes to the Wolverines and when it comes to the Crimson Tide. I think Jermaine Burton will definitely be their primary target, but depending on how you cover Jermaine Burton, Isaiah Bond, who caught that miracle play against Auburn, is also a dynamic threat in that wide receiver core. But this is not like the same level of wide receiver core that you have when you play a couple of years ago with Alabama with all those first round wide receivers. This isn't as good of a wide receiving core, and to be honest, the running back core is it's not terrible, but it's definitely not as good as it has been in previous years. Jalen Milroe, his dynamic ability on the ground with his legs is going to be a key factor, if not the most contributing factor, as you've had 30 touchdowns on the ground for the Crimson Tide, which I think could be very interesting as you look at this matchup. Jalen Milroe, obviously a bigger body quarterback, somewhat bigger body, that has a lot of physical presence when it comes to line of scrimmage. So when you look at this game, I think in the trenches is where it's kind of going to be won or lost. When you're looking at both of these teams, both teams want to play hard-nosed football, want to play in-your-face, smash-mouth football. And I think, honestly, it is going to be kind of tough, I think, to get those yards in the trenches, because I think it is going to be the priority of both of these teams to slow down the run game, whether it be the run game with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards from Michigan, or the run game with Jalen Milroe at quarterback, especially with contain and stuff like that. I think that could cause some issues for the Wolverines in this game. I think that when you're looking at this game, big picture, you're looking at two teams that have a similar identity, but there are a couple of key differences. One being this. One has a very dynamic and athletic quarterback. The other does not, and that is Alabama. Bama does have the advantage in this category. I think Milroe is definitely not as good of a passer as McCarthy is, but Milroe's ability on the ground is significantly more than a guy like J.J. McCarthy or stuff like that. But I will say this. There was a couple of packages that... I'm trying to remember his name. It is... I can't remember his name. But for Michigan, who did get a couple of running back carries for him, Alex Orji. He did get a couple of carries against Ohio State. Sorry for forgetting that one, Michigan fans. But Alex Orji did have a couple of carries, and it was kind of interesting the way that he was implemented by Sharon Moore in that offensive attack against Ohio State. I kind of am intrigued to see if that ability is once again used, because I think that kind of like QB power, the different types of stuff that you can use, not a wildcat formation, but kind of a wildcat with Orji not being the main quarterback. I think that could be interesting, though J.J. McCarthy also does have some sneaky ability with his legs, but definitely has a lot to learn when it comes to certain categories with that. But really, when I'm looking at this game, I think it's going to kind of come down to one thing. I think it's going to come down to who plays better at quarterback. I think that both of these teams have good defenses, good offenses, good surrounding pieces overall. But at the end of the day, I really do think it comes down to quarterback. I think that the quarterback edge, it is so tough. It is so tough. But I think the quarterback edge has to go to Alabama with how well Jalen Milroe has been playing. I think that Milroe has played excellent, superb football in the second half. I know he struggled against Auburn, but Alabama always struggles against Auburn. I also would say this. At the end of the day, one team has Nick Saban and the other team doesn't. I just simply trust Nick Saban to win this game more. So my final score prediction is 27 Alabama, 21 Michigan. I got the Crimson Tide moving on to the national championship to verse the... You'll have to go ahead and check out my Washington and Texas preview and prediction video for that answer to see who will be playing in the national championship game. But make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below, hit the two videos right here, and hit the subscribe button up here as we work our way towards 1,400 subscribers. As always, have a great day. Bye, guys.